Something tells me you've been missing speed, altitude, and adrenaline for a while. If I'm right, then you're in the right place, because we've got a selection of mind-blowing aviation moments just waiting for you. From the cockpit, it's hard to feel just how fast an F-16 can go, but from a boat docked nearby, it's crystal clear. Ever wonder how airplanes break the sound barrier? Well, take a look at what a jet engine does to runway asphalt, and you'll see why that question answers itself. Watch as the morning light and humidity reveal the powerful air currents an airplane has to overcome in flight. This plane looks totally ordinary until this moment. Yeah, that's a propeller plane with rocket boosters, and it's as awesome as it sounds. The pilot of this plane must have skipped physics in school, not because he was a bad student, but because he knew he'd break every rule once he got behind the controls. Looks like this guy didn't put his phone in airplane mode. Or is that not how it works? It's no secret that night air shows look more spectacular with all the pyrotechnics and smoke, but just look at this mind-blowing angle. This McDonnell Douglas DC-10 was supposed to put out a local fire, but strong winds decided to give the house roof a new paint job instead. It's hard to tell what this propeller plane pilot had in mind, but he came dangerously close to giving the camera operator a free haircut. Wait, didn't they say there'd be several jets at this air show? Why is there only one? Oh. Well, be careful. Those C-130 propellers have a hypnotic power that might just make you subscribe to our channel. Here's another incredible example of rotor-tipped vortices, but some people will claim that someone threw toilet paper on the helicopter's blades. When an experienced pilot gets bored of regular flying, he starts pulling off tricks to shock his less seasoned colleagues. It's unlikely that you've never heard of the Blue Angels, but if that's somehow the case, here's a close-up of what they're capable of. Watching the massive Mi-26 is a thrill until it loses control just a dozen meters from you. But don't worry, this time everyone got away with only a scare, and a couple of them got fired. Hopefully, you don't think propeller planes are boring or outdated, because they can pull off moves no jet can match. Relax, even if the sky looks like total chaos, every pilot has spent hundreds of hours practicing to make it look effortless and totally safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look to your left, you'll see Dubai's famous palm-shaped island. But sorry, scratch that. There's a guy in a jet suit flying alongside us and blocking the view.
What do you do if your plane breaks down and you're flying over mountains with not a soul in sight? For this pro pilot, the answer was clear. Good thing he had a parachute within reach.
Thank you, higher powers.
There's nothing scarier for pilots than barely visible power lines when flying low. Luckily, no one was hurt this time. You're in luck today because you get a front row seat to an F-16's low-speed maneuvers and heat trap ejection. It's not every day you see a World War II era plane in the air, and witnessing its pilot's oops moment is even rarer. Luckily, no one was hurt. What could be cooler than a low pass by an F-35? It's the only one that can pull it off at supersonic speed. The B-2 Spirit has been around for decades, yet it still gives stadium crowds the chills as if they're seeing a UFO. Wonder what it's like to perform stunts at high speed? Well, just hop in the cockpit with this pro by subscribing to our videos. It's not every day you get to witness a U.S. Air Force tech demo and feel the raw power of an F-16's turbojet engines. True love is a MiG-17 pilot racing his girlfriend in her Lamborghini Huracan Evo. The average length of an aircraft carrier runway is just 200 meters, so fighter jets have very little time to reach takeoff speed. Luckily, that's all the engines need. Another reason helicopters are awesome. When you're under one, you don't need an umbrella. If you've never seen an F-111 perform a dump and burn, what have you been doing on the internet all these years? Better subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on something like this. Meet the Mi-26, a 36-meter giant and the world's top cargo-carrying helicopter. It can lift up to 20 tons, which is pretty impressive considering it weighs 28 tons itself. In thick fog, visibility can drop below 100 meters, so pilots rely almost entirely on instruments. Now, imagine the skill it takes to pull off a takeoff like this Lightning F6 did in those conditions. Landing on winter's icy surfaces requires extra space for braking, so on this ultra-short runway in Courchevel, the pilot didn't stand a chance. Fortunately, everyone walked away unharmed. The best spot for an ad or love note? Somewhere visible from every point in the city. Tell us in the comments if you can figure out what these pilots wrote in the sky. This operator's friend promised a close flyover, but left out that it would be one of the coolest passes in aviation history, right over his head. These guys must really love maximizing their time. How else do you explain this takeoff with the plane still loaded? If the airshow announcer hadn't mentioned that the MiG-17F was flying, the audience might have thought a missile was buzzing past them. Now, obviously, only true pros can be this in sync when they fly, but what do you call a team that can land with such flawless coordination? One word: Mega Minds. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime chance to see a plane overtaking another plane from another plane. Don't show this one to Tom Cruise, or he'll feel obligated to do an even wilder stunt for the next Top Gun movie. Get a pilot's view of what it looks like to refuel a fighter jet in the air. Doesn't that skill deserve a like? This air race ended before it even started when one pilot's plane slipped into his opponent's blind spot. Luckily, only the planes took damage. And now, it's time for some serious stuff. Get ready to be amazed as a B-2 jet conducts a carpet bombing test over the desert near Point Bravo military base. Looks like some fighter pilots decided that flying under bridges wasn't surprising enough, so they started driving under them. I bet he just pulled out of a gas station. Did you know that the Marines have their own version of a water park? Only they use a UH-60 Black Hawk instead of slides. The lower a firefighting plane makes a water drop, the better its chances of putting out a forest fire on the first try, but also the greater its chance of getting tangled in a tree. And just a heads up, while you're watching this pilot's work, you might start doubting the existence of gravity. Bet you'd never guess what a military V-22 Osprey's propellers can do to trees. Now, it's clear why they don't bother arming it. It only has to fly over enemies. Getting into a spin is already a disaster for most pilots, and this guy was unlucky enough to lose a propeller on top of that. Thank goodness he handled it like a champ. Here's how wing vortex tests were done at NASA's Langley Research Center back in the 1970s. You'd have to be insanely lucky to see one of the lowest and fastest low passes ever caught on camera, or just be subscribed to our channel. Looks like this pilot had no choice but to risk a water landing right by a beach full of people. It's hard to believe, but he walked away unscathed after that impact. If you think screamers are only in horror movies, prepare to change your mind. Watch the raw power of the F-18's jet engines as it performs low maneuvers over the ground. Admit it, footage of planes emerging from clouds or fog should be considered pure art by now. To understand the Typhoon jet's sheer power, remember that it can dry a wet runway in seconds during takeoff. 2,700 liters of fuel per hour. Thought I was joking about screamers? Think again. The Red Bull Air Race Championships always bring high adrenaline, but even pro pilots sometimes find it overwhelming, like in this case. Someone seems to have forgotten that they're not in their Prius and tried to park as close as possible to the airport hangar. And yes, only his job prospects were hurt. The Red Arrows can be proud of themselves. 57 years in, and their breathtaking piloting videos still go viral. Do I even need to explain why this beach is so popular with plane spotters? You could train your whole life, but this helicopter will still breakdance better than you. Good news, though, it's empty. Watching this incredible smoke-fueled flight, it's hard to tell who's enjoying the ride more, the spectators or the pilot himself. I'm not sure what they're serving airport workers for lunch, but these legends are actually pushing a passenger jet due to a tow truck shortage. Quick, show this video to anyone who thinks remote-controlled aviation is just kid stuff. When a forest fire flares up near a tourist beach, vacationers should brace themselves for a new creature to appear in the water, a CL-415 water bomber. Machinery can always fail regardless of a pilot's experience, and this airshow incident could have ended much worse if a less skilled pilot were at the helm. Thank goodness this one's a total pro. When your plane only offers one working wheel upon landing, all you can rely on is your skill. Thankfully, this pilot had more than enough to keep everyone safe. The F-111's power is so intense that it seems ready to launch straight into another galaxy. How do you change a helicopter tire without a jack? The answer is right on your screen. If any locals were planning to show off their yacht to tourists today, they should apologize to the pilot of this Harrier for stealing the spotlight. When you hear heavy bomber, the last thing you expect is for it to roar past at supersonic speed. But that's the Rockwell B-1 Lancer for you. If a non-firefighting Mi-117 is brought in to tackle a forest fire, then rest assured, the flames won't last throughout the day. Wonder why the Airbus A320 leaves such a trail in the sky? Well, just look at how much fuel it burns per hour. 2,700 liters. This might just be today's most intense video as you watch a pro pilot practice getting an aircraft out of a spin. You've probably seen amazing aviation videos lately, but you definitely haven't witnessed a 5-aircraft firefighting operation like this. To be a top pilot, it's not enough to know how to fly, you've got to know how to handle wind that's never on your side. This might be the most impressive high-speed turn you'll ever see from a jet. Prove me wrong in the comments. Think you're confident? Remember, this guy was trying to hold an airplane wing after forgetting to set the parking brake. Ever seen a plane rip in half during landing with no injuries? Now you have. Here's all you need to know about the F-22's awesomeness. It can literally stop mid-air. Usually, vacation memories start after the plane lands, but not for these passengers. Good news, they landed safely. This is the 115-ton Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, and even seasoned pilots would be stunned by what it can do in this video. Watching this Su-37 flip, it's clear the pilot has taken flying skills to a whole new level. Cargo planes are the only solution when your goods are in the middle of mountains, unreachable by truck. But even they have risks. Luckily, no one was in the helicopter that was being transported. Thanks to a helicopter pilot's poor judgment, we got this nerve-wracking video. And thanks to the airplane pilot's quick reflexes, everyone survived. But no aviation screamer compares to an out-of-control plane right above a crowd. The next time you pick a window seat, think twice. You might just catch this view. Good thing the plane landed safely. With all the action at this intersection, drivers don't need their morning coffee to stay awake. Wonder if this pilot got fined for parking in the wrong spot. Get ready to witness one of the most impressive power loops in aviation history, performed by none other than the F-22 Raptor. For the U.S. Air Force, no location is out of reach. Their highly maneuverable C-17 cargo planes can deliver anything, anywhere. Here's one reason pilots love their job. Even a view as stunning as this one looks even better from the cockpit. Watching two fighter jets training over the canyon is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. This beach may not have the best shoreline for swimming, but it's always packed. I wonder why. Just so you know, if you see a silhouette of a helicopter dropping special forces on your way home, it might be a good night to take a different route. You've seen plenty of impressive aviation videos today, but watching the CL-415 scoop up water mid-flight to fight fires is something else. You've probably seen F-18s in action, but watching these jet beasts take off is a rare sight. Fighter pilots are trained to fly as close to the ground as possible to stay off enemy radar, but this guy seems determined to disappear from friendly radars too. Prepare yourself for the most breathtaking team video in today's lineup. It's hard to imagine how much practice went into achieving this level of precision. Check out the Sprite, a rare upper atmosphere lightning phenomenon that only pilots see during night flights. Wondering how much it costs to repair an airliner? Ask the driver of this truck. He'll remember the amount for a long time. Witnessing a fighter jet break the sound barrier right over your head? That's pure luck. And right before your eyes, this 200-ton Airbus battles a fierce headwind to take off. Looks like it might need a second try. Here's what happens when a plane doesn't stop in time on the runway. Fortunately, only the airline's insurance took a hit. This might be the future of propeller aviation, folding wings that let a plane transform into a helicopter mid-flight. Of course, a $300 million airliner doesn't need a more carefully planned transport route. This complex takeoff maneuver using the tail is one that pilots only attempt once in their career, because afterward, that career is usually over. Very few untrained pilots could regain control after losing it so close to the ground, but you can breathe easy. This is a training exercise for just such situations. Check out this pilot's lightning-fast reflexes as a flock of birds appears on the takeoff path. Imagine seeing a Boeing 747 crossing a road bridge. Would you dare to drive underneath this 200-ton giant? Just thinking about the precise timing and conditions needed to capture this breathtaking shot makes your head spin. Curious about what stress tolerance really looks like? Watch as this pilot calmly circles near a forming tornado. You've probably seen plenty of wing-to-wing flights, but admit it, none of them compare to this one. Flights are often delayed due to windy weather, since it might take a pilot several tries to land safely. These pilots fly so close together that you'd think they have real-life checkpoints for when things go wrong. We're not sure how many decades of experience this Mi-8 pilot has, but one thing's for sure. For him, flying seems easier than breathing. The next time you're frustrated about a flight delay due to light rain, check out this video to see how quickly it can turn into a downpour. You know a flight is unforgettable when you hear the captain say,
"If you look to the right, you'll notice Flight 198 challenging us to a race."
You'll notice Flight 198 challenging us to a race.
At this traffic light, everyone seems to wait on green, hoping to catch an incredible landing moment. I'm not sure how it happened, but the passengers on this airport bus nearly had the chance to board an airplane directly from it. One jet fighter low pass is amazing, but 3 of them within seconds? That's next level. Wait, so when the air traffic controller says the plane went off the radar, does that mean that it just flew into the bushes? The last thing a pilot expects when landing is to spot a surprised face staring back from the cockpit of the plane right across from him. What are the odds that these pilots have flood insurance for their planes? Pretty slim, I'd say. Roar, speed, precision, all are synonyms for this jaw-dropping Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker low pass at the London Air Show. And this helicopter pilot is definitely the reason behind your surprised face today. As for this guy, he managed to crash the plane without even getting it in the air. Now, that's a unique skill. This is a World War II Spitfire, and now you'll see where it got its name from. Because it literally spits fire. This landing was a true test of skill and concentration for the pilot. Luckily, not even an engine fire stopped this pro from landing safely. Imagine coming home and seeing this on your roof. Share your first reaction in the comments. And now, watch Air India's Boeing 747 begin its final flight with a rare wing wave maneuver. Is it a bird? A missile? No, it's a stunt team's jaw-dropping performance that'll leave your jaw on the floor. Moments like these make me wish I lived near a military base. Luckily, those who do share amazing videos of F-22s flying over their homes. No, we didn't slow down this video. This solar-powered 4-propeller plane really isn't in any rush. I have no idea how this happened or what it'll cost the insurance company, but thankfully only the equipment was damaged. Don't worry, this mechanic is a total pro and knows his job, but seeing him so close to those spinning blades, I can hardly breathe. And that's all for today, but while you're signing up for pilot training, let us know in the comments which clip impressed you the most. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you never miss a video. See you next time.